Hello and welcome back to the channel. Now I was a kid in the late 80s and early 90s and I grew up watching cartoons like Transformers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And I had a lot of action figures when I was a kid, but when I grew up my parents got rid of my figures, and I kind of feel that it's a similar situation for a lot of us guys who are now grown-ups and are collectors of action figures, because we have a strong nostalgic feelings about these franchises and we want to capture that feeling from when we were kids. But now we are looking at it from, grown-up size, and we like the design. We love to see them on our shelves because it reminds us on times when we were children. So, as most of you know who are here on this channel is all about the Black Series, mostly about the Black Series 6-inch action figures, and from time to time I get into some other lines. But, as some of you know, in this collecting sport there are a few dangers that you should keep away from. And one of those is when you are in collecting of one line and then you start to dive into some other line because you love this franchise, and then there is this other franchise that figures are coming out, and it can be dangerous for your wallet, to try to branch out to other lines. And that's the kind of thing that from time to time happens to most of us, I think. And it's something that recently happened to me because I have a friend from my high school years, and he's a huge TMNT fan. I mean, I'm a huge TMNT fan, but I'm all into Star Wars. But he stayed loyal to the TMNT fandom all these years. And so, back in the day, I saw what NECA was doing with this TMNT license when they gave us those TMNT figures from the 1990 movie. And I got most of those figures. And at the time I thought that I love turtles, but the main thing for me now is realism, mostly realism, and that's what the Black Series gives us. Even when we are getting characters that are from cartoon shows, Star Wars cartoon shows, Hasbro always tries to even things out so that the figures that are from cartoon show have to have that realistic feeling so that they can go on the shelf along the movie figures. And so realism was the thing that I was concentrated on. And so when these TMNT movie figures came out, I wanted to get them, and I mostly did. But recently, as all of you who are into TMNT figures know, that NECA is really killing it with their TMNT line, and not just movie line, but the 1987 original cartoon line. For some reason, when they started that line, I kind of skipped on it. And as I said, the main reason for that was that it's a cartoon line, and I was all into the movies and realism. But I was talking recently with that friend that I mentioned, and he's all in that NECA cartoon line, and he's getting those figures. And I started to watch some of the YouTube reviews for those figures. And that's the first wrong step that you can make when you try to just stick to one franchise and one action figure line. And so I made that mistake. I saw a few of those reviews and I fell in love with those TMNT cartoon figures. And yeah, I went into that rabbit hole, and recently I tried to go back and get some of the most desirable figures for me, mainly the main characters from the cartoon that I knew from when I was a kid, and that I decided that I want to have in my collection. Now it can be really expensive, obviously, because it's hard to maintain buying figures from different lines. So for me, I decided that this TMNT cartoon line will be something that I will only pick and choose few characters from that line. I won't be getting all of them because, as I said, it's just too expensive to get them all. So I decided to get the main characters, and in this video today I wanted to show you a huge haul of the TMNT cartoon figures that I managed to get in last few months. But first, let me say this. Recently I went back to my hometown and I dug up a few of the things that are left from back in the day when I had these toys. So what I found is this Leonardo turtle that I think it's a version that got it's obviously, you know, a vintage toy, but it was re-released. I don't know when was it, like some 10 12 years ago, I don't know. And this is the only guy that I have from that line. I even have this weapon bracket that came with it. So this guy is still with me. As I said, that's probably the re-released figure, but the thing that I know that's not re-released, but it's the original from back in the late 80s and early 90s, it is not the figure, but a vehicle. And it's this jet ski or foot ski, how is it called? And it's obviously not complete set. The thing that goes up here is missing, and I think that there should also be a flag that pegs here, and it's really, you know, used. But yeah, I have this, and I was so happy to see this when I dug it out. But now let's go into this huge haul of the TMNT 1987 cartoon line by NECA. At the beginning, this is one of the first figures that I bought, and it's the ultimate NECA TMNT cartoon foot soldier that comes in this VHS tape box. And that's the kind of thing that I really love about NECA. They put the effort not just into the figure by itself, but also into the packaging. It's all nostalgia here. Even the illustrations are vintage. This illustrator, Dan Elson, is doing a phenomenal job with these packagings. This is a fantastic figure because, let me open it. It's the ultimate figure of a foot soldier that comes with a lot of accessories, and you even get the head to make Alpha 1 figure from the cartoon show. The next one that I have here is Metalhead. This is a bit bigger box. You know, it's a machine, a robot, a turtle robot from the original cartoon show. And I mean, there was a Metalhead figure from the vintage line back in the day, and he was all shiny, but he did not look like he looks in the cartoon. And most of the figures, I mean, practically all of the figures from that vintage collection, none of them looked like the characters in the cartoon. But now NECA is for the first time giving us all of these figures that look like they jumped straight from that cartoon from the late 80s and early 90s. So I always loved the design of this Metalhead, this figure, and the way he looks. I don't know, it's something about the aesthetics, about those colors that, I don't know, I just like. It's a big figure, and I obviously didn't open any of these. I just first I wanted to make this video to show you guys what I got. The next one, you can't have TMNT cartoon figures without one of the main villains, and so this is Krang and his android body. And also it's a big figure. The illustrations, is it the same? Yeah, Dan Elson. The illustrations are amazing. Dan Elson is doing a fantastic job with these illustrations. And as I said, a big figure. The packaging also looks like VHS tape, and with Krang in his android body and Turtles down there. And so there are promo shots back on the box of the figure in all kinds of dynamic action poses. And here's how it looks on the inside. Now, I'm sure that all of you who are fans of this line knows how these figures look like, and you probably even have them in your collection. But I don't know, I just wanted to show it maybe to those who don't have them and don't maybe, I don't know, don't know that they exist. Maybe if there's anyone out there who doesn't know that these exist. But the thing that I love about NECA is that they don't cheap out on the number of accessories. You know, I'm used to the Hasbro's Black Series, where when that line started in 2013, there were figures that came with some of the accessories, interchangeable hands, maybe interchangeable heads. But now, almost 10 years later, we kind of used to that. In that Black Series line, we don't get that many accessories. And if we do get an accessory, it's always a deluxe set with deluxe prices. But NECA doesn't care about that. NECA always stacks up their packagings with a great number of accessories. And that makes these figures so much better, because you can use all of those accessories for all kinds of action poses, for toy photography, for stop motion even, and that's an amazing thing to me. So kudos to NECA for doing all of this with these TMNT figures. The next one, that's even bigger figure from the previous Krang that we saw, is, at the moment of recording this video, I think the biggest figure that they made in this TMNT cartoon line, and that's the Chrome Dome figure. Now, this is a guy that was created by Shredder, that was a leader of the Foot Clan. It's a big character in the cartoon show, and his scale varies from episode to episode, and even from shot to shot, you know. But again, a great illustration, a great design. Again, kudos to Dan Elson, who obviously did all of these VHS types of boxes illustrations for them. And this figure is amazing. This is the last guy that I got out of all of these figures that I have at the moment, and I was kind of, you know, on the edge, thinking, will I get it or not? But it was too cool of a looking figure, too great of a looking figure to not get him. And so this is how he looks on the inside. And also there is a vintage version of this figure that was also chrome shiny one, because obviously his name is Chrome Dome, so he should have been chrome. But in the show back in the 80s and 90s, he was not chrome shiny. That's just his name, but he looked like this, and that's what NECA turned into a figure. So he's a cartoon accurate Chrome Dome. And the next figures that I got from this cartoon TMNT line are mostly figures that came in a 2-pack set. So the first one is this 2-pack of Rat King and Vernon, the camera guy that works with April O'Neil. So this was also, I think this was the second set that I got right after the Foot Clan Soldier. And this is a great set, because Rat King is one of those villains that I remember from when I watched this cartoon when I was a kid. I found it for a good price on the My Hero store. Again, it's unbelievable to me. We are getting a Vernon figure that has an interchangeable face so that you can turn him into a rat. And that's a throwback where Rat King turned him and Irma into rats. NECA knows what they are doing, you know. They are going back to all of those cartoon episodes, and they are picking up references from each episode and packing in these boxes all of the accessories that are references to that cartoon. So fans love it. These figures are so popular that they are practically flying off the shelves. If you watched that Netflix series called Toys That Made Us, you know, the president of Playmates Toys that were making that original Turtles, and his famous sentence in that show, "No turtle on the shelf." Yeah, so that's what's happening right now with all of these NECA Turtles figures. The next 2-pack I got is this one, Master Splinter and Baxter as a fly. Because, you know, you have to have Master Splinter, a teacher, a sensei of the Turtles. This box is a bit larger than the previous one, and it comes with so many accessories that it's crazy. I mean, you even get a book with that's opened on the page where you can see Renaissance artists from which Turtles got their names, you know. And you get a floor piece that's in the background, floor piece, like kind of a rug or something, on which you can sit Master Splinter and put him into position that he's like meditating. These figures, they look unbelievable to me. As I said, like they jumped straight out of cartoon. So the next two guys I got are Bebop and Rocksteady. And these two are maybe one of the coolest looking figures in this whole line. I mean, these are the two main bad guys that are fighting the Turtles all the time, you know. So I had to get these two. I mean, they just look phenomenal. The box is a bit damaged, but I don't care about that. I'm an opener. I will be opening all of these figures, and one day when I will be able to have more space for my display. And the last thing that I got from this TMNT cartoon line is practically a holy grail in this line at the moment of recording this video. And that's the 4-pack of Turtles in Disguise. Don't ask me how I got this, and don't ask me how much I paid for this, because this is an exclusive that can be found practically only in the US. I was looking for this for a while, and I was looking for it on eBay because that's the only way that I can get it. There are no online stores here in Europe that I know of that have this set. Even if I didn't get any of other figures that I showed you, this set was the one that I mostly wanted, because obviously, you know, it's the 4 Turtles. But it's the 4 Turtles that are the best cartoon Turtles that NECA gave us to date. Before this set, there was, I think, 2 previous versions of the 4 Turtles. But those figures were not articulated as well as are these guys. So they changed things up a bit on this set and made them more movable, gave them more articulation, but the number of accessories in this set is unbelievable. It's just crazy. They are called Turtles in Disguise, obviously, because it's a reference to the first episode of the first season. So when you open this lid up, the Turtles are displayed like this, and they have their trench coats, and all of the accessories are around them, and even the interchangeable faces are in the back. And the cool thing about this is that it's shown back here on this image that you can swipe out the upper and the lower part of the head, which have different types of face expressions. So you can use those expressions for each one of these 4 brothers. So that's really cool. And yeah, I saw a lot of videos on YouTube about this set, and I know that these are really hard to find on the shelves, even in the US. I kind of knew that I missed out on this, and that my only chance to get them is on that secondary eBay market. I plan on making posing videos for all of these figures that you saw here, but there is still one more thing I have to say about these NECA cartoon turtles. You probably noticed that I'm missing a key guy, and that's the Shredder. I don't have the Shredder in my collection at the time of recording this video. And I know that NECA already gave us a few Shredder figures. And from what I saw from the YouTube reviews, people are complaining that that Shredder, although he looks good, his articulation is not that great. So I'm hoping that maybe down the line NECA will re-release another Shredder but with an updated articulation. So I'm hoping for that. Because to find that Shredder, and in all of the previous releases, I think he never came out like a single figure. He was always packed into a 2-pack. So to get him now, I would have to get him with another Krang or with another turtle. I don't know, was it Leonardo that was packed with him in a 2-pack? I don't know. But I don't want to do that. So I'm hoping that NECA will re-release Shredder figure and maybe update his articulation in the near future. And if they do that, I will definitely pick him up. And so lately NECA gave us an update on the things that are coming in this cartoon line. They announced a lot of new figures, and even at the time of recording this video, those pre-orders for those new figures on that NECA site are finished. And yeah, as I said before, I won't be getting all of those figures because that's just too expensive for me, since I have Star Wars figures that I'm getting. But out of all of those new announcements that I made, the one that I plan on getting is the Usagi Yojimbo, because he will be a single figure release, and he will be packed, I'm guessing, with a lot of accessories. So I'm hoping to get that one. NECA is killing it with this line, and I'm really looking forward to the future releases and to see what next will NECA do with this line. I'm really a huge fan of the original cartoon. When I was growing up back in the early 90s here in Croatia, Croatia was still a part of former Yugoslavia, and so the cartoon here was translated into Serbian. And so even today I have few of those, I think, first 3 seasons of the cartoon translated into Serbian. I mean, it's like the voices are in Serbian, but those translations back in the day were made the way that you hear them talking in Serbian, but underneath you hear English, original English. And it's just something that it's not the way that translations are working today, but back in the day that was the thing. And today when I watch those episodes, it's just such a nostalgic feeling from when I was a kid, sitting in front of the television and watching those episodes. It was unbelievable. I remember that when I started going to school when I was a kid, each year, if I would finish a grade with great grades, is that how you call it? It's like our system is different. We have grades that are in numbers, not in letters. So it's like if it's A in the US, for us it's like number 5. Like that's the best grade that you can get. So if I would finish the grade with those grades, my parents would buy me a VHS tape of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So I have few of those VHS. I won't say how many grades I managed to finish with that excellent grades, but I have few of them, and I actually managed to transfer those tapes from VHS to digital copies. So yeah, I have a nice number of episodes from back in the day And yeah, as I said, I'm a huge fan of this line. I love what NECA is doing with these cartoon turtles, and expect that all of these figures will be getting their action posing videos on this channel. Wish me luck that I will be able to get that shredder down the line, because you can't pose all of these figures without Shredder. These turtles have to fight him in my videos, you know? So, yeah, that's all I got for today. I hope that you enjoyed this little TMNT cartoon haul. And thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.